Okay, guys, welcome to 5.2, slope from 2 points. So for this one, we have FIF7, which is graphing, and in learning objectives, you learn to find the slope of a function given a table or 2 points. So either one, so given a table or 2 points. Okay, first problem. Okay, money. You work at a restaurant. Anybody work out there? And get wages and tips. In 2 weeks, you make $300. And in 7 weeks, you make $800. How much do you make in just wages per week? Yeah, you want to find what is the rate of change? What is your wages per week? So let's look at what we have. So we have 2 weeks, 300, 7 weeks, 800. Let's write that down. So 2 weeks is $300. And we're also given 7 weeks is $800. So those are two things that we know, right? And if you look at them, they kind of represent ordered pairs, our input values, right? So we have ordered pairs here with our input and our output for each one. What our input, 7 weeks, our output, $800. And our ordered pairs would be 2, 300, right? So 2 weeks is $300. 7 weeks is $800. 7, 800. So those are our two ordered pairs. So we want to find out how much do you make in wages per week. Okay, so how do we figure that out? Right, so slope is given by, right here, slope, change in y over change in x. So our slope, or our rate of change, which is our slope, is given by change in y over change in x. And we're using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this is the equation that we need to remember. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And how do we get those points? Right, so our first point is going to be x1 and y1 because we have 2 points. Our next point is going to be x2, y2 because that's our second point. And we just plug it in. Right, so our rate of change, so y2 is 800, so 800, and then minus our y1, which is 300. Right, so the difference in money, 800, different minus 300. And then we got x2, which is 7, so 7 weeks, minus our x1, which is 2 weeks. So we subtract the numerator first, so 500 over 5. And we can divide that 500 divided by 5, it'll be 100. Right, so this is $100 per week. And that's our rate of change, $100 per week. So given 2 points, right, 2 order pairs, 2 data points, we can always find the rate of change. We just change it and make it look like an order pair, right? 2 weeks, 300, 7 weeks, 800. And we just subtract the y's, 800 minus 300, 500. 7 minus 2 is 5. And then you divide them and we get 100. So $100 per week, and that's our rate of change. Okay, so applying them right there to order pairs. So we have our x1, y1, because that's our first point, and we have our x2, y2. That's our second point. First point, second point. Simple, right? X, Y. Then we're going to use our table here, or our equation. So y2 is 19 minus y1, which is 4, over x2, which is 7, and our x1, which is 2. Right? So we're just matching them up. So 19 minus 4 is 15. 7 minus 2, 5. You divide if you can, and you get 3. right? So your slope is 3. Part B, again, so we have our x1, y1, it's two different colors, x2, y2. So we're going to figure out, so y2 is going to be 9. Then we're going to subtract that with our y1, which is negative 1. So remember the negative. And then we have our x2, which is negative 2, subtract x1, which is 3. And then double negatives is going to be plus, so 9 plus 1 is 10. And then negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. Negative 5, divide that, you get negative 2. So our slope is negative 2. Okay, so one more example. So x1, y1, x2, y2, right? And we just calculate it. So y2 is 7. We're going to subtract y1, which is 3, and then our x2, which is negative 4, and then we're going to subtract our x1, which is 0. So 7 minus 3, 4. Negative 4 minus 0 is negative 4. Divide that, you get negative 1. So our slope is negative 1. And you guys can do number letter D on your own. Okay, number 2, the graph of the table below represents two different linear functions. So they have a constant rate of change. Find the slope of each function. So number 2, you're given already 2 points. Negative 2, 3, 2, 1. Right? So we have our x1, y1. And we have our x2, y2. So change in y over change in x, remember, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 1. Subtract y1, which is 3. x2 is 2 minus our x1, which is negative 2. And then we subtract it. So 1 minus 3 is negative 2. 2 minus negative 2 is 2 plus 2. So it's negative 2 over 4, which is negative 1/2. And you reduce that. So our slope is negative 1/2. Okay, another way to think about it, if it's a graph, you can just look at rise over run, right? So we're going down. So this is negative 2. And we're going right 4. So that's positive 4. So our slope is negative 2 over 4, right? Because that's rise over run. And you reduce that, you still get negative 1/2. So same thing, either graph or using 2 points. Okay, the table, same process. So we're given input, output, right? Those are still ordered pairs. So we still have 2, 7 as an ordered pair, and we have a 4, 12 as an ordered pair. So use those 2 ordered pairs to figure out what is a change in y and what is a change of x. Okay? So you can do 12 minus 7 over 4 minus 2, and that's going to be 5 over 2. And that's our slope, that's our rate of change. Yeah, another way to look at it is, if you look at the change, difference between 12 and 7 is 5. Right? This is positive 5. Difference between 2 and 4, positive 2. We added 2. So rise over run, y over x, right? 5 over 2, same exact thing. That's another way to look at it. So same with number 3. Table of values and the graph below represent the population of a town in various years. Use the table to find the rate of change of the population per year. So it's just like a table, right? So same thing. You have a table here of numbers. You find a difference, change in y over change in x, and then you can have your rate of change, whatever it is. So you're going to find what is the rate of change of the population per year for this one. And then number 4, you create it, create your own problem, and then we got kind of copies.